I believe there is a strong humanitarian rationale for creating life multiplanetary in order to protect mankind's survival in the event of a catastrophic occurrence, in which case being impoverished or having an illness would be unimportant since humanity would be gone. It would be like saying, good news, poverty and sickness have been solved, but the bad news is that there are no humans left. Hello guys, and welcome back to Tech World. Today we're here with another interesting thing about Elon's futuristic visions. So today's topic is all about Elon's plans to make an artificial planet, or is it? Stick with us till the very end to know exactly what he's planning to do. Now let's jump into orbit. Multiplanetary life. I'm sure you guys know how crazy Elon is about Mars. I mean, all he talks about these days is going there, building a city, and all that stuff. Another one of his ideas was to make Earthlings multiplanetary. Let's see how that comes about. Musk stated last year that he now hopes to deploy 1 million people to Mars by 2050. He also mentioned generating a lot of employment throughout the world. He also tweeted that he's gathering resources to assist in making life multiplanetary and extend the light of consciousness to the stars. The business in South Texas is building reusable spacecraft called Starships. SpaceX aimed to build 1,000 Starships in 10 years. A city on Mars. Even though his statement of making humans a multiplanetary species is still in its infancy, his talks about making a city on Mars have gained a lot of attention and we can now get more detailed information on it. So, shall we? CEO Elon Musk has long dreamed of building a city on Mars. It would be self-sustaining, home to 1 million people, and would help mankind evolve into a multi-planet species. It's Musk's most ambitious objective, and it might keep him busy for the next 3 decades. People interested in moving to Mars could pay for their flight with a loan. This city would be free to govern itself on its own terms. This appears to stand in contradiction to the 1967 Outer Space Treaty, which states that the launch origin country is responsible for subsequent space activities. Paul Wooster, principal Mars's development engineer for SpaceX, says SpaceX could build multiple cities. This city would be free to govern itself on its own terms, as indicated by the Starlink Internet Service Terms and Conditions released in October 2020. Why is a city on Mars? Musk's stated aim is to transform humanity into a multi-planet species. His stated aim is to create a city on Mars and a permanent base on the Moon. Over the years, he has listed reasons as to why humanity would want to expand into the universe. Like, because it's a reason to keep on living. However, astrophysicist Martin Rees said in response to Hawking and Musk that the idea was a dangerous delusion. He said dealing with climate change on Earth is a dawdle compared to making Mars habitable. Well, what paved the way? So the next question is, from where did Elon get this idea? I mean, it's not every day people plan to build cities on another planet. It's unclear when he initially had this view, but according to Ashley Vance's 2015 biography, by the middle of his teenage years, he'd come to consider man's fate in the world as a personal duty. Science fiction works such as Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy influenced him. Terence E. Benny, who went to school with Elon, is also mentioned in the book. Benny argues that Elon was thinking about populating distant worlds as early as his childhood. Did you too? I guess billionaires and geniuses' brains do work on another scale. Anyway, Elon attended a meeting of the non-profit Mars Society organization in 2001. He learned about the group's ambitions to send mice into orbit to inspire people at the event. Elon began to ponder the possibility of sending them to Mars instead, which eventually led to him founding SpaceX. Musk told Wired in 2007, before SpaceX had even launched its first rocket into orbit, that in 30 years there would be bases on the Moon and Mars. In 2016, he made a statement at the International Astronautical Congress on his proposal to turn mankind into a multi-planet species. So he made that plan fairly early, but I think it surfaced now because we're already so close to stepping on Mars than back then. Well, how does he plan to build it? So with all these comes the ultimate question: how? It's easy to dream and make plans, but if you want to realize them, it's another story. So let's see how Elon plans to make his plan work. SpaceX, Elon's firm, has revealed its ambition to carry personnel and goods to Mars way earlier than most. The Starship is a completely reusable rocket that can take 100 tons or more into orbit at once. It will be able to recharge from the planet's resources and return to Earth. With planet-hopping technology, Neil deGrasse Tyson warned in November of 2018 that a whole category of combat has the potential to disappear totally. Sir Ernest Shackleton's advertisements for an Antarctic expedition influenced Elon Musk's Mars advertisement. Musk stated in November 2018, "Men seek a dangerous journey. Small pay, severe cold, lengthy months in full darkness, frequent risk, and a shaky return. Don't we all?" The advertisements most likely did not exist, but recent Mars probes have shown dangers to the planet. The Hope mission to Mars, hosted by the United Arab Emirates, experienced a dust storm in December 2021. It soon proceeded hundreds of kilometers across the crater, passing over NASA's Perseverance rover and Ingenuity chopper. The storm persisted until the 14th of January. The occurrences demonstrated how, compared to Earth, the weather on Mars may be unexpectedly harsh. Dust storms that sweep across solar panels can reduce their effectiveness, depriving a space station of critical power. The astronauts will battle more than just dust. NASA stated in April 2022 that the Curiosity rover had to abandon its current expedition path, owing to sharp rocks that might harm the rover's wheels. Mount Sharp is the name of the peak Curiosity was attempting to ascend. The cost. How much do you think it'll cost? It costs millions of dollars just to maintain and renovate a city on Earth. So how much would it cost to build a complete city on Mars that is strong enough to house people? Musk stated in 2019 that a round-trip ticket would first cost roughly $500,000 before reducing to $100,000 over time. Musk's objective in 2016 was to have a ticket price that was comparable to the median price of a home in the United States. That would imply that individuals might sell their homes and relocate to Mars. A personal loan is another option according to Musk. Visitors would repay the debt by working to satisfy the city's labor needs, in a notion that harkens back to the 19th century American company towns, where employees lived in a city controlled by their boss. Mars may not offer many options for local work, especially in the early days, and you'll need to pay off that debt for your travels. After all, if you're wealthy enough to travel, why would you forego the luxury? Dream will come true on... At that time, Musk announced an aspirational plan to deploy 2 cargo ships to Mars as early as 2022. In 2024, it would deploy 4 ships, 2 crewed ships and 2 cargo ships to the next closest approach. However, Musk said on Twitter in March 2022 that a more plausible timeframe for mankind to witness the first humans on Mars would be 2029. It's also plausible that Musk was referring to the 1969 moon landing, putting a 60-year gap between the 2 achievements. Mars and Earth orbit each other once every 26 months. At this point, the distance between the 2 is approximately 33.9 million miles. Musk tweeted in March 2019 that it's conceivable to build a self-sustaining settlement on Mars by 2050 if we all start in 5 years and take 10 orbital synchronizations. With 26 months between sequences, construction of the metropolis would take at least 22 years. Musk has set a goal of establishing a self-sustaining Mars colony with a population of 1 million people by 2050. That year, Musk would turn 79 years old. Assuming that SpaceX has yet to conduct its maiden orbital flight with the Starship, it is doubtful that the first cargo ships will be launched this year. If SpaceX's plans are adjusted to a more realistic late 2030s timeframe, Musk may actually be able to achieve his target. And guys, that's all for today's video. So, do you think Elon can do all these things like go to Mars, colonize it, and make humans multiplanetary? Do share your ideas down below for us to see. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button for future updates and like this video too. Till we meet again in the next video, take care.